Hello, everyone. Long time. I have struggled with, sharing this testimony. I'm 35 weeks now. It would be a disservice to me, to my faith, to my family. God has been so good. So I'm going to tell you how, in all my smartness, in all my sense, God showed me that I was being foolish. That I wasn't being smart at all. I got married 2020 December 5th. And from then on, I got married at 31. So I just thought, you know what, it's time, get pregnant now and all of those things. By 33, 34, I'm done. But God had other plans. Life had other plans. I just thought, you know what can I do to kind of like, not to assist God, because saying that is every level of disrespect. But in my mind, I was thinking, you know what? God has given us sense, has given us brain, has given people like knowledge and stuff. There's so many ways to go about like having a healthy child grow and reach the full term. This is my thinking, of course. So before now, I used to be a very like practical person. When I mean practical, not practical in the non-believing way. I do believe that there are miracles. I believe in testimonies. Do I believe them happening to me? Eh. But I just felt like at the time it would never happen. Like, not that it would never happen to me, that those kind of like dramatic things that you hear about or read about just wouldn't. I just wasn't the one for it. I just felt like there are other ways I could get things done. And I just feel like, oh, so far I've gone by being resourceful. That I think that my greatest asset in life is my brain, because whenever there is something, I'm a fixer. I fix things. My family and my relationships. If something is going bad or all of those things, I would fix them because naturally I just always kind of like had a way to kind of like be resourceful and stuff. So when I saw that it was time was going and I just didn't know what to do, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's 2022 at the time. I'm like, I'm going to do an IVF. I'll put in twins there. And when I put in the twins, I'll just have a boy and a girl, and then that's it. I just want to have a. And I said that to my husband. Now, I told you how I am. Now, my husband on the flip side believes solely, absolutely in miracles. He believes completely. In fact, my husband doesn't believe that he has everything anything that he has done in his life comes from his strength or his ability to think or whatever it is. My husband believes that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that as well, but not as much as this man. This man believes that there's nothing that God cannot do. And this is why I think that God kind of like always teaches me. Everybody kind of has how God works with them. And with me, God was teaching me in such I won't say humiliating way. I want to say such a humble way. So I'm 22, I'm like, I want to do IVF. He said never. That God will give us our child. And that God will give us the child when the time is right. And so when he said it wasn't going to happen, it wasn't going to do it, it was the most heartbreaking thing. But at the time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we just kind of like have to like put our lives together, our finances and everything together. So me again, I went back to my drawing board. I'm writing down the time frame for this. Look at me, giving God time, the creator of time. XYZ, we get this. I'm thinking about like how our money we can invest in stuff, build stuff, planning all those. And once again, if you know me personally, people that know me, I'm sure people that in my family that see this be like, yes, that's her. I asked him again for IVF. He's like, babe, God will do this thing. God will do it. God will do it. Don't think about it. Anyway, life started happening to us. We got so busy. We would travel so much, so much. I was just telling a friend, I remember my husband telling me, can we not travel again for the next 2 weeks or the next 3 weeks? Let's just rest. And it was such a hectic time. But in my mind, I still thought, yo, my IVF is sure. And then last year, I already had the IVF. I told my husband that we must do it, this IVF. He doesn't say much, but he could just say that won't happen. And he was say in very calm voice, like, baby, I won't do this. Fantastic. Case closed. He doesn't argue. He doesn't say any words back. That's how it doesn't have the time to. No. He says, I won't. And then so they kept saying, we're preparing. God is preparing us for this child. So back to, the no IVF. Then in October last year, before October, I would bring it up again. We were going back and forth with work. I just kept saying it. So I started saying it as a normal thing. Like, okay, when we are done with this, we'll do the IVF. He will tell me, I'm thinking it through, I'm thinking about it. I haven't gotten the confirmation yet. But I said it so often, and that's how I get things to my husband, to be honest. I say it so often that he hears it so often that he gets tired. So I said it, I'm like, okay, entering the new year, we'll do the IVF. I said it like during the summer of 2023, 2024. In fact, my friends, everybody knew. I'm like, when I'm ready, I tell my mom, everybody, I'm doing IVF. And so I'm working on myself to prepare to be, to be healthy enough to whatever it is enough for the baby. So November, I'm like, babe, it's IVF. December, I'm like, babe. So this man was tired. Us women, we know how to get, what we want. So all through October, November, he kept saying, okay, in the new year, we'll kind of like see about it and everything. Come 2nd of January, I woke up early, bright and early, woke up my husband. This man was tired. Woke him up and then I called and I booked the appointment and I went on the 2nd day of January to the clinic because I'm like, I already planned my year. Once again, planner. I planned my year. I had all the outfits I was going to wear, what I was going to wear to influence, the clothes I was influencing for a brand. I had all the clothes laid out and everything, how I would use the whole of January, February, and March. This is my plans for the new year. When I started planning in January that I'll do my content, January, February, March, I'm pregnant. Don't forget, I'm doing my treatment in January. So in my mind, I'm thinking IVF doesn't work for everybody either, and it might not work for me the first try. So I was giving myself opportunities that it might not work for me the first try. So maybe first, second, and third try. Because I heard so many stories about people like, I did like 5, 6 IVFs before God blessed, that kind of thing. So I just assumed that I will be in that bottom of the barrel. Look at me. I don't know if it's insecurity, imposter syndrome, whatever it is, but I just felt like I will be bottom of the barrel. The way that I had seen, I had given, it's almost like you have different you have different, I have different options. If option A doesn't work, option B might work, option C might work, option D. I always do that. Everybody knows me. I do that. I always have different options. Even when I save, I throw money like in different areas just in case I need from here. I've always done that. So I just felt like now I think about it, like, why did I think that God would not bless me? The insecurity that comes with having no child for years in marriage, something that we should really discuss about. I remember having a program called The Waiting Place, and I felt like whatever I was saying became so repetitive. Is that a word? Repetitive? Repetitive. Repetitive. Sorry, I'm sleepy, so I'm slurring a lot. And I just kind of kept. I'm like, oh, I'm always repeating things, and it's not working. And I just felt like, what's my story again? I have no other story to say. I just stopped doing it. That's how I felt, to be very honest. When I started with the IVF, I'm like, I was going against what I was preaching in The Waiting Place, if that makes any sense, which is a total, waiting on God. And especially when you're waiting, how you wait is also important too. So all those things, I just felt like, even if I had, if and the thing is, most of the time, even if we do IVF, it's still a blessing to have a child through IVF. Absolutely everything is good. Having a child naturally through IVF, everything is good. Did I think that it would happen for me so fast? No. I'm being honest with you. No. Did I think I'll be pregnant this year? No. Did I pay thinking that, oh, once I pay and they put in my husband's this thing, it will work for me? No, I didn't. I didn't at all. It will even come naturally. It's what completely blew my mind. Completely blew. It will come to me naturally. I already thought that my IVF first try, if you know work, So so on the second, we went to the clinic, and then they said to come inside. So the doctor put in this long thing. into my private, what's the word? Into my private to see how my womb is and all of those things. And he said, "Oh, your womb is in perfect condition. You're okay. There's nothing wrong with you." They ran all the tests, my sugar level, my this, everything was fantastic. My husband's tests were fantastic, even more fantastic than my one. So we're like, okay, we're good. We know where it would. So he said to me, "Come back on the second day of your period and we'll start treatment." So my period was meant to come on the 20th of January. So all this while, once again, I've been sick, like sick. Before the 20th, my husband, because I was so sick often, my husband went out and bought test strips, pregnancy test strips. I thought it was funny. So I left, he gave it to me. And then I just kept it by the side of the bed. I'm like, I'm not, this is funny. This is funny to me. I beg. So 20th came. I'm like, oh, listen, it's time for my period. What's going on? The 20th came. On the 23rd was my baby Ace's birthday. We did like a party for him. I cooked all the food. I was still feeling very ill. Then I just kept, hoping for my period to come. So 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 29th. No period. The 29th morning, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm feeling sick and there's no period yet. So I went to ease my, like, when you wake up to pee. So by the bedside, I saw the pregnancy test strips. There are two of them. So I took out the first one and went to test it, like PM tested it, and it was 2 lines. I laughed. I thought it was funny. Like, can you imagine? Don't forget, at the clinic, I paid full. I paid the money for the IVF full on the second of that of January. After my hospital visits, after we did the test, the third, the fourth, I think we did the test a day or 2 days later. We paid everything in full. So we had paid for IVF. We were about to start the treatment. And then it happened that I did the tests. And it said, it showed 2 lines, which means pregnant. I thought it was funny. And I thought it was funny because it was just like I had done the test with strip with water and peace. I'm like, it's not real, it's just funny. So I went back to the bed and I slept off again for 2 hours. I slept for 2 hours. This was like around like 8ish, and I slept till like 10 because we had a late night before. When I woke up, I'm like, why would I just sleep off? What's wrong with me? I did a pregnancy test and it said 2 lines. So I took the other one, this clear blue. I took the other one, I ran to the bathroom and I just tried it on again. And it showed 2 lines. And I'm like, Jesus, babe, babe, babe. And then he came into the bathroom. He jumped from the bed and came to the bathroom. I'm like, babe, look. He says, I'm pregnant. He says, I'm pregnant. Babe, look. And then, you know how me, I was like crying and like just happy and everything. My husband is like, Lord God, forgive our unbelief. Forgive my unbelief, oh Lord. Forgive. It was the funniest thing. I'm like, I've made man of God to sin. So I showered quickly. I called my mom. So I was like, my IVF treatment is my second day of my period. Though. Period has not come. Next time I'm seeing 2 lines like I'm pregnant. She's like, what? Jesus. She was like, go to the clinic now. Go to the clinic. So I called the clinic. I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me. I'm seeing 2 lines though that I'm pregnant. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm meant to see my period and come for my IVF treatment and put my twins in. You know what's going on? My dear. So I went to the clinic and then I did like the P test and I thought I would go and come back. They said to me, no, wait, let's just see your HCG level. The next thing they did this HCG level and guess what they saw? Your girl was pregnant. Pregnant. I've been pregnant. I was pregnant since December. All that while the doctor had put that long thing into my private to see. He put it into my womb to see my womb. This girl, this child, I'm having a girl by the way. Now you know. Well, I'm sure by now you would have known that it's a girl now. I would have given birth by the time this video is out. And then this baby girl was sat inside that womb at the corner, just hiding all that while. That when we did a scan, then they have to do an ultrasound again to see her. This girl was swimming everywhere, just like, just going through life. Just I was 6 weeks pregnant, guys. 6 weeks pregnant. and I was bawling. My husband was like, you don't listen. You don't listen. You don't listen. And he was so angry. You don't listen to me. I thought that God would do this. You don't listen to me. And then I'm like, why this man dey vex like this? It's not a happy celebration for us. Why this man dey vex? So the doctor was like, oh, congratulations, you have 6 weeks pregnant. And then I said, how? And then he said the thing that made me realize that all this while I have been so stupid. He said to me, isn't it the law of the land that a man and a woman will sleep together, will meet as husband and wife, and a child will come out? Isn't that the law of the land? Isn't that what God intended? That's what this man said to me. I can't forget him. And I don't realize that I have made God's power so small that in my mind, I never thought I could have a child naturally. And there's nothing, I'm not against IVF or anything, because it's also a means. However, I thought that I would never have to meet my husband one-on-one and the child would come out. Because over time, I had been disappointed so much that I just did not believe that it would ever happen to me. I thought the only way I could have a child was through IVF. I had made God so small. I had made God's power so small in my life that I just thought that I had to put in effort for it to happen. This thing broke me. When I think about it till now, I'm like, how did I ever think that? How did I ever think that it couldn't have been God? How did I ever think that God could not? And again, to be honest, miracles and testimonies like this never really happened to me. Or maybe they do, and I just kind of downplayed. I just did not see. However, my husband, miracles stayed. My husband's life is my husband's life is a testimony and then some. Like everybody will do something and it will not work. My husband will do it and it will work times 1,000,000. So he was just so used to like God always taking charge. But for me, it happened for me. But however, I downplayed it so much that I just feel like in this instance, it had to be IVF. So when the doctor says to me, isn't that what God intended? Who told you that your own will be different? My dear, that's my days. Is how I got pregnant. That's how I found out I was pregnant all the while. All the while I was sick and everything, I was pregnant. So the clinic refunded me back the full money. What I mean, everything that I paid, the clinic paid back to me. Olive Branch is in Lekki Phase 1. That clinic, I will never forget them in this life. The niceness, I remember them being so happy that I conceived naturally. They were so happy. I would call their name once again. Dr. Emeka, Olive is a nurse there. Those people gave me the best 6 to 12 weeks of my pregnancy. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget them. That's it. Jesus is real. Jesus is real. Serving God pays. Jesus is real. And I don't know if personally, I won't lie to you. I don't know if I'm such a holy person that I would say I deserve God's blessings the most, or I deserve all of God's blessings. However, I'll tell you this. God showed me himself. God showed me that I need to believe him and trust him more. I cannot say it enough. And I don't know if I'm not a sharer. I don't know if you do this well, if you're on my social media. I'm not a sharer to share personal things. But I promise you, God is real. God is real. God is real. I don't know if this helps anybody. But yeah, that's my story. This is me at 35 weeks. It's almost 1 a.m. But yeah, God has been good, guys. So yeah, I'm a mommy now. I'm a mommy. I have a baby girl. After paying full money for IVF, that it will come to me completely blew my mind, because